What all does this competition entail or involve, Sandy?
It's through CASTO, the California Organization or Association of School Bus Transportation Officials. It's for the drivers that we depend on the mechanics so much, and the mechanics keep the buses safe on the roads, and it's a competition where they inspect the buses, they do the undercarriage, the interior, the exterior. There's a technician part of it where they're identifying or problem solving subjects that have come up or issues that have come up. So,
have you had a contestant, someone from the Apple Valley School District compete in this for as long as you've been here?
No, I've been here since 1988, and this Mike is our first time attendee.
Oh, first time's a charm.
Yeah,
Send him to Las Vegas, huh?
Right.
What? Tell us then what's coming up in November.
In November, we're going to be attending the NAPT, which is National Association Pupil Transportation. They're doing the international competition for Mechanics Best. It's the international best competition, and Mike will be competing against competitors from all over the United States and as far away as Canada.
Okay, tell me how many vehicles is Mike and the 4 other mechanics? How many vehicles are in operation within the district?
We have 67 school buses in our yellow fleet, and between the school buses and the white fleet, it's between 200 and 300 vehicles that they maintain.
Well, congratulations on round 1 success, which was really a big round, and then continued success as you get on to Kansas City in November.
Very exciting, very exciting.
Good, thank you. Were you surprised at your success first time out of the block, or did you feel pretty well prepared going in?
I felt prepared. Still, there's an element of not knowing how the competition's going to go. Getting through it, though, I was really confident, but I didn't want to set myself up for failure and think I'd won it, so I kind of mentally was preparing myself for a 2nd or 3rd place finish and was ecstatic when I was announced the winner.
2 aspects, written work and then the performance. What were the type of questions in the written work?
The written test was an ASC formatted test, meaning that a lot of the questions ask you technician A says this, technician B says this, and you need to answer which technician is correct, or if either are or both are correct. And a lot of the questions are based on that format.
And then in terms of the performance, would you have to change the oil? I mean,
you're actually in a time competition where it's broke down into 3 sections. There's an interior inspection, which is 15 minutes. You have an exterior and engine compartment section, which is 15 minutes. And then you have undercarriage, tire, and wheel, which is 15 minutes. And in the 15 minutes, you go through with the judge and find as many defects as possible.
How many contestants do you know were up there at Tahoe altogether for the state competition?
Altogether, nine in my competition.
Wow, okay. So, I mean, it was time consuming with all of them going through each.
It was. You were issued a time window where you had to be there to go through, and it was broke up into the 3 sections, obviously.
In the performance aspect, was there any one part of it that was the most challenging, the most difficult?
You know, all 3 of them were equally challenging because of the time factor. These were older buses that have been in service, so there were several defects.
Oh.
And one of the sections is used as a tiebreaker if you were to tie on points with another competitor. And the way that works is the faster you get done, it goes for your score. So on the one section I knew was going to be the tiebreaker, I tried to rush through, and I kind of probably found a few more things, but I wanted to save some time in the bank.
Yeah, to me it's mindful of the old Mission Impossible TV series or movie series. Now, you know, not only do you have to solve it, but there's a time factor too.
Okay, it definitely adds an element.
It puts a lot of pressure on you. Now, I'll ask you, what's next? What's coming up?
We got the national event in Kansas City, which will be in November. I'm really looking forward to that. And after speaking with the competitor from California last year that went to the national event, on this level, most of the competitors are state inspectors from across the country where they get paid to do it for a living. So it's definitely a little intimidating, but we're studying, and I think we're going to be well prepared.
So do you have homework to do before?
Tons.
Oh, really?
Tons. You know, this competition I was a little more prepared for because being in California, the laws were going to be specific to California school buses. Now, on the federal level, California incorporates a lot of laws that don't apply federally, or they go above and beyond. So now I'm going through the federal handbook and studying this up so I can be on even board with everybody else across the country.
Mike, how long have you been a mechanic with the Apple Valley Unified School District?
I've been with the district for about 8 months now, I believe, maybe a little bit longer.
But Michael Schreiner, I always associate that with a person who's been here a long time.
My father's been here 20 some odd years as a diesel mechanic also.
When did you know or think that, you know what, I might kind of like to get into that line of work?
You know what, in high school, from being a little boy though, you know, I was always rooting with my dad. And in high school, it was really settling in. I took auto shop and excelled in it in high school. And it started kind of dawning on me that this is something I might want to do for a living. So fresh out of the gate at 18, I went into the industry.
What are the day in and day out routines? I mean, I obviously check the oil and tire pressure, this type of thing, but what all does your work entail? What does it involve?
Here's very specific, because I've been in almost every facet of the diesel industry, but here, school buses are just held to an extremely higher standard. You know, every 3,000 miles or 45 days, every one of our buses has to be inspected, and an inspection on a school bus is extremely detailed, bumper to bumper, top to bottom. You know, everything has to have eyes and hands on it. So there was definitely a learning curve getting into here. I had a lot of experience coming in, but the mechanics here, Tom, Tim, and my dad, Mike, have showed me a great amount on buses specifically. You know, what to look for and what are common things. And then, of course, there's heavier line work, you know, actual repairs when something breaks down and has internal failure. And that's as it happens, of course, but there's preventative maintenance is always an issue.
Yeah, so it's an ongoing timetable with upkeep and maintenance. Is there any time of the year that is hardest on the vehicles, or that work is hardest for you? As it gets cold, or is it when it's hot, or is it the same year?
The summer months, the heat is definitely an added element that causes some failure, you know. But for the most part, I would say across the board, there's always work to be done. There's always something wearing out on one spot or another on a bus, you know.
Well, congratulations on your success, first time out of the gate in the state finals, and best of luck to you as you head on into Kansas City.
Thank you.
Coming up in November.
I appreciate it, thanks.
Now, just pretend you're doing something to inspect something, or...
I think I have a light, actually.
Mike, I know with any job that safety first comes first. Are there some aspects of it that can become a little more hazardous or dangerous than others?
I would say there's an element of danger anytime you work on any type of engine. You know, we take precautions to make sure everything is locked out, tagged out, inoperable starting if we're going to be anywhere near where you could get harmed. But there's obviously a risk involved with dropping heavy components or hands in tight, you know, places, confined space.
Are you like a doctor that is on call? I mean, do you have to go out sometimes if a bus breaks down?
Absolutely, yeah. There's a handful of service calls weekly. You know, there's always something going on.
Yeah, and even just out alone working roadside, I mean, with oncoming traffic is something I would think you would have to be.
Absolutely, yeah. You've got to be very cautious. You know, we always try to get. Most of our drivers are very well trained to get the bus into a safe area before they, shut down. But there's times we have to, have the bus moved to a safer location. It's just not worth the risk, you know.
I think when you talked to me on the phone, you said something about you were here like from 7 until 5?
My schedule is 8:30 to 5.
Okay, so it's well, I guess that figures out to be what, an 8-hour day, but really you're here, you're almost a 10-hour day, and so 5 days a week or
5 days a week, Monday through Friday, yeah. And we have at this time for the diesel mechanics, we have 2 separate shifts. We've got 2 guys that come in at 5 to 1:30, and then another 2 of us diesel guys come in at 8:30 to 5. But we cover the whole spectrum of when the buses are on the road, you know. As long as there's a bus on the highway, there's a mechanic in the shop.
Yeah.